Good evening, I'm Brendan Miller. Thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay Police responded to a weapons incident at Inner City Shopping Center food court shortly after 4 p.m. this afternoon. Officers responded quickly and contained the scene where a stabbing had apparently taken place in the food court. One person was taken to hospital for assessment and treatment with no further information on the victim at this time. Police arrested multiple suspects and add there's no threat to public safety. On Saturday evening, Thunder Bay Fire Rescue responded to a structural fire in a residence on Fairbrook Street just before 11 p.m. The first truck on scene reported heavy smoke and quickly called for a second alarm due to the severity. Firefighters saw flames coming from utility vents and outside walls of the house and from a basement window. After attacking the inferno outside, crews then moved inside. The fire had spread from the basement to the main floor through the walls. Significant damage from fire, smoke, and water had occurred, and thankfully all occupants exited the home safely, and the cause still remains unknown. On Friday, Atikokan OPP investigated an early morning single vehicle crash where the driver was impaired by drugs. Around 4 a.m., OPP received a call from the driver involved in the collision on Highway 11 near Flanders Road. Responding officers observed signs of impairment from the 29-year-old female, and an OPP drug recognition expert found she was not capable of operating a vehicle safely. She was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver is charged with dangerous operation and impaired operation of a motor vehicle. After being released by police, the accused is set to appear in court on June 26th. Kawetanung MPP Saul Mamakwa spoke at Queen's Park this past week regarding the mental health of police officers working in remote First Nations in Ontario. He says these officers often carry out patrolling with no backup and are put in dangerous situations. The NDP members asked Health Minister Sylvia Jones if the government finds this to be acceptable.
Officers patrolling an entire region or community by themselves with no backup. Police chiefs treated differently because they are Indigenous. Officers in dangerous situations without the needed resources. To the Premier, do you find this reality acceptable?
It is critical. And we know that when we have strong police services and police forces, we have strong and safe communities, which is why we, of course, have added over the last 3 years support for mental health for our first responders, specifically early intervention, upstream care for first responders before they experience crisis, trauma-informed care, programming that builds on resiliency skills, training for management and office staff to help support their frontline colleagues. Look, I know that we can do more, and we will continue to support our frontline officers wherever they serve in the province of Ontario, because it is the right thing to do.
As a lead up to National Accessibility Week, Citizens with Disabilities Ontario hosted a gathering this past week to introduce Thunder Bay and community and beyond to the Accessibility Exchange platform. Riley Cohen reports.
Hosted by the New Society Institute, this event aligns with Citizens with Disabilities Ontario's annual general meeting to commemorate 2 decades of public education and advocacy. In collaboration with Community Services for Independence Northwest, Haggie, and the Alliance for Equality of Blind Canadians, the gathering celebrates collective efforts towards a more inclusive society. Pat Seed was blind from birth. She's an organizer, advocate, writer, and motivational speaker, and has been a volunteer consultant and changemaker in Thunder Bay since the 1980s. Currently serving on multiple boards, she underscores the critical importance of these partnerships.
Thunder Bay has not had people with disabilities and organizations working together since, I would say, before the pandemic. And so it's really been difficult because after the pandemic, no one really knew how to start. And with the volunteering experience that I have had and the organizations that I'm with, I thought there's got to be a way of starting things in Thunder Bay and helping Thunder Bay know that, yes, you've got support.
In addition to celebrating 20 years of advocacy, the event also featured an information session on the newly revamped Accessibility Exchange online platform, designed to support federally regulated organizations such as banks, airlines, and telecommunication providers. The platform helps recruit diverse people with disabilities, deaf individuals, their supporters, and community members to actively contribute to the development and implementation of accessibility plans. As Doris Rajan, managing director of the New Society Institute, explains, the goal is meaningful inclusion through direct participation.
We did such an extensive co-design process, like it was designed by people with disabilities. And we're learning every day. Like, you know, we've had, like, for example, we believe we may be the only website in North America that's accessible, fully accessible in sign language. So that's ASL and LSQ, the Quebec Sign Language. So we've really made strides around that, but we're learning every day, and we recognize that we constantly have to adapt.
National Accessibility Week runs from May 26th to June 1st, with this year's theme, Forward Together, Accessibility and Inclusion for All, highlighting the power of collaboration in building a barrier-free Canada.
If you think you can, you might. If you know and believe you can, you will.
Riley Cohen, TBT News.
Grade 8 girls from across the city gathered at the Lakehead University this past week for the 3rd annual Inspire Sports Health for Life event. It's meant to connect the girls with local sports and activities they might not normally try in a fun and interactive way. Jaden Billick has the story.
Inspire aims to help reverse the trend of 1 in 3 girls dropping out of sport by the age of 16 compared to 1 in 10 boys. Additionally, many girls did not return to sport after the pandemic. Sport Development Coordinator Tricia Haino says this event was created to introduce these girls to a myriad of sports in a fun and interactive format, supported by their high school mentors.
We've combined them with 18 community groups where they have the opportunity to get involved in different stations, and our high school mentors are engaging with the girls and help building those connections and those foundations so that the girls can develop an interest in whatever sport or activity they are gravitating to, and that way they're able to hopefully continue in these activities lifelong.
Some of the activities showcased here include an introduction to the basics of tennis, where participants learn fundamental skills and techniques, a hands-on look at batting in the game of cricket, and even an upbeat Zumba session focused on positivity. President of the Thunder Bay Lacrosse League, Alyssa Piccolo, has been teaching her sport to these girls since the first year of the event and shares her thoughts.
So it's been really fun so far. The girls have been really active and engaged in all of the different sports and events here. Lacrosse has been fun. We've been trying new things. We've been playing a couple mini games, and it's nice to see everyone out and actually engaged and participating in everything. Yeah, so it started with only like a few different organizations, I think, and then it really grew. You see a lot more different, a lot of organizations from around town now, which is really nice to see.
That level of engagement by these girls is pretty easy to spot, especially when you hear it from themselves.
Oh, how are you enjoying today?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love it here.
Awesome. What are some of the sports that you tried out today?
We did Zumba, we did tennis. We're going to do lacrosse soon. I'm really excited for that one.
How'd you hear about this event?
Oh, my friends last year there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You signed up right away?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
It's fun to try something new that I haven't probably done in a while. Like this dance right there, like a little bit ago. I did that. I've never done like something like that. So it's like really good to try something new. But I'd say I do soccer, baseball, and track and field every year, I'd say.
Hainu says her favorite day of the year wouldn't be possible without their many sponsors and can't wait to start planning for next year's Inspire event. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Cambrian Players presents a new musical, A Year with Frog and Toad. The play will run from May 22nd to 25th and then from May 29th to June 1st.
To find the proper climate, one that doesn't feature any snow.
This jazzy, upbeat musical is family-friendly and has different show times to accommodate for children to attend. There will be 4 matinees and the evening shows will start at 7. Director Mary Davis says the story has something for everyone to enjoy.
It's honestly, you're going to leave the theater just feeling like it was a warm hug. It's just a really sweet, fun story about friendship and accepting your friends no matter their faults, their quirks, all of that, and just loving one another no matter what happens.
Frog is the more kind of upbeat, everything's cool, everything's smooth. Toad is a little bit more, how can I say, he's a little bit more on the grumpy side. He's still a very nice toad, but he does get a little grumpy. Things do kind of bug him a little bit, but Frog's always there to see it through and help him cheer up.
The play will offer a sensory inclusive matinee with soft lighting, lower volumes, and fidget toys for anyone with sensory sensitivities.